It's the most wonderful time of the year. No, not Christmas, silly. It's the season finale of Saturday Night Live. The energy is electric, the cast is hyped, the audience is buzzing with anticipation. The entire studio is decked out in festive decorations, and you can feel the excitement in the air. It's a night where anything can happen, and it usually does. Backstage, the cast members are a whirlwind of activity. They're rehearsing their lines, perfecting their comedic timing, and making last-minute adjustments to their costumes. The camaraderie among the cast is palpable, and you can see the bonds they've formed over the season. They're not just colleagues, they're a family, and tonight, they're ready to give it their all. Lorne Michaels, the mastermind behind it all, is lurking in the shadows, probably wearing sunglasses indoors. He's the guiding force, the one who keeps the show running smoothly. His presence is both reassuring and intimidating. You can tell that he expects nothing but the best from his cast and crew, and you know what that means? The audience is on the edge of their seats, waiting for the magic to unfold. The anticipation is almost unbearable. Everyone knows that the season finale is always full of surprises, and this year is no exception. It's time for the annual Weekend Update joke swap, where Colin Jost and Michael Chi try to make each other laugh or die of embarrassment. This segment has become a fan favorite, and for good reason. The chemistry between Colin and Michael is undeniable, and their playful banter never fails to entertain. You can see the genuine friendship between them, and it makes their jokes even funnier. This year, the stakes were higher than ever. The pressure was on, and everyone could feel it. The cast members were determined to make this finale one for the books. They knew that millions of viewers were watching, and they didn't want to disappoint. Was it the pressure of the finale, the weight of an entire season culminating in this one night? Or perhaps it was the presence of some very special guests that added to the intensity. The presence of legendary host Martin Short? Maybe. Martin Short is a comedy icon, and his involvement in the finale brought an extra layer of excitement. His comedic genius and larger-than-life personality were sure to make the night unforgettable. But let's be real, it was probably the fact that Scarlett Johansson, aka Mrs. Colin Jost, was in the building. Her presence added a touch of Hollywood glamour to the night. The audience couldn't get enough of her, and neither could Colin. You could see the pride and love in his eyes whenever he looked at her. Little did Colin know, Scarlett's cameo in the cold open was just the tip of the iceberg. She had a few more surprises up her sleeve, and they were sure to leave everyone in stitches. Her comedic timing was impeccable, and she fit right in with the rest of the cast. Che had a few surprises up his sleeve, and let's just say they involved more than just a few reindeer games. He had been planning something special for weeks, and tonight was the night to unveil it. The cast and crew were in on the secret, and they couldn't wait to see the audience's reaction. Buckle up, Buttercup, because things are about to get wild. The stage is set, the cast is ready, and the audience is in for a night they'll never forget. This is SNL's season finale, and it's going to be one for the history books. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Before we dive into the Weekend Update madness, we need to talk about Scarlett's grand entrance. She waltzed onto the SNL stage like the queen she is, joining the ranks of the elite Five-Timers Club alongside the hilarious Martin Short. The audience went bananas. But Scarlett's mission wasn't just to bask in the Five-Timers' glory. Oh no, she was about to become a pawn in Chi's twisted game of Weekend Update roulette. And trust me, this is one game you do not want to lose. Backstage, Che was practically giddy with excitement. He had crafted a series of jokes for Jost that were so outrageous, so over the top, they would make even a sailor blush. And the best part? He was going to force Jost to read them on live television, with Scarlett watching his every move. Now we all know Che has a knack for pushing the envelope. But this time, he wasn't just pushing it. He was stuffing it into a cannon, lighting the fuse, and aiming it straight at Jost's marriage. This was personal, people. This was war. The moment of truth arrived. The air was thick with anticipation, and the studio lights seemed to shine a bit brighter, casting a spotlight on the unfolding drama. Jost, blissfully unaware of the comedic landmines Chi had planted, took his place at the Weekend Update desk. He adjusted his papers, cleared his throat, and gave a confident nod to the camera, completely oblivious to the storm that was about to hit. He started reading the jokes, chuckling nervously at first. The initial jokes were light-hearted, eliciting polite laughter from the audience. But as he continued, the tone of the jokes began to shift. The punchlines got bolder and more outrageous. His laughter turned into a panicked squeak. Each joke seemed to push the boundaries further, and Jost's nervousness became palpable. His eyes widened, and his voice wavered as he tried to maintain his composure. "So, I told Scarlett that after her 40th birthday, I'm leaving her," Jost read, his voice cracking. The audience gasped. The room fell silent for a split second before murmurs of disbelief rippled through the crowd. Jost's eyes darted around, searching for his wife's reaction. He scanned the audience, hoping to catch a glimpse of her expression, but the bright lights made it difficult to see. His heart raced as he imagined her reaction. But before he could process, Chi chimed in with a devilish grin. "Yeah, and we just had a kid together, and y'all ain't seen no pictures of him yet, because he's black as hell." The words hung in the air for a moment, and Jost's face turned a shade paler. The audience erupted in laughter and groans. The mixture of shock and amusement created a cacophony of reactions, with some people doubling over in their seats while others covered their mouths in disbelief. Jost buried his face in his hands, muttering, "I'm never going to live this down." The weight of the moment settled on him, and he realized that this segment would be talked about for a long time. The camera captured his embarrassment, immortalizing the moment for all to see. Meanwhile, backstage, Scarlett was on a roller coaster of emotions. At first, she was amused, even impressed by Che's audacity, but as the jokes got more personal, her smile started to fade. By the time Chi dropped the secret baby punchline, Scarlett looked like she wanted to crawl under a rock and stay there forever. You gotta hand it to Scarlett, though. She took it like a champ. Sure, she might have contemplated divorce for a hot second there, but hey, who hasn't? It's all in good fun, right? Right? Section 6. The Costco roast beef sandwich, a joke that will go down in infamy. The night went on, and the jokes kept coming. The atmosphere was electric, filled with laughter and anticipation. Each joke seemed to top the last, and the audience was loving every minute of it. Che roasted Jost about everything from his skinny jeans, which looked like they were painted on, to his awkward dance moves that made everyone cringe and laugh at the same time. He even took a jab at Jost's questionable taste in art, poking fun at the abstract pieces that Jost claimed to understand but clearly didn't. But nothing could have prepared us for the final joke. It was the kind of joke that you could feel building up, the tension in the room growing thicker with each passing second, the joke that would forever be etched in Weekend Update history. The spotlight seemed to shine a little brighter, the room a little quieter, as Chi prepared to deliver the punchline. The joke that involved a Costco roast beef sandwich. It started innocently enough with a simple mention of the sandwich, but quickly took a turn for the unexpected, and a comment about Scarlett's postpartum body that we can't even repeat here. The room fell silent, the air thick with shock and disbelief. Let's just say it was crude, it was shocking, and it was the kind of joke that makes you question the boundaries of comedy, and it left Scarlett completely speechless. The audience gasped, some covering their mouths in disbelief, others looking around to see if everyone else was as shocked as they were. Jost choked on his own spit, his face turning red as he tried to regain his composure. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered reaction. Even Che looked a little bit scared of what he had unleashed. His usual confident demeanor faltered for just a moment, as if he realized he might have gone too far. It was the kind of joke that makes you question everything you thought you knew about humanity, and it was hilarious. The room erupted in a mix of laughter and shock, a perfect storm of emotions that made the night unforgettable. Section 7. Jost's nervous laughter, when you're scared of your own wife. Throughout the entire segment, Jost's nervous laughter was like a Greek chorus of impending doom. He knew he was walking on thin ice, and with every joke, he inched closer to plunging into the icy depths of Scarlett's wrath. "I love you, honey!" Jost squeaked out at one point, his voice cracking with desperation. "Please don't hurt me." It was both hilarious and slightly disturbing, like watching a baby deer try to outrun a pack of wolves. Section 8. Chi's turn in the hot seat, Moana 2, and other questionable material. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if Jost didn't get to dish out some payback. Chi had to read his fair share of humiliating jokes, including one about the highly anticipated and completely fictional sequel to Disney's Moana, aptly titled Moana 2, Electric Boogaloo. There was also a joke about Jeffrey Epstein, Jay-Z, and Diddy that was so wrong, so wildly inappropriate. that we're pretty sure it violated several FCC regulations, but hey, it's the season finale, right? Anything goes. Section 9, and the award goes to wrapping up a legendary Weekend Update. As the Weekend Update segment came to a close, one thing was clear. Scarlett Johansson was the real winner that night. Not only did she survive the onslaught of cheese outrageous jokes, but she also proved that she has a sense of humor, even if it is buried deep, deep down. So there you have it, folks. Another season of SNL in the books, and another Weekend Update joke swap for the ages. Until next year, keep it weird, keep it wild, and whatever you do, don't let chi anywhere near your significant other.